All right, UFC China this weekend, Zhang versus Johnny Walker. We're going to be doing our full card predictions. And in the first fight, we have Uran Satybaldiev versus Diyar Nurgozhay, I want to say. Probably not the best prediction, best translation. But anyway, I'll start this one off and I'll say it is a close fight, but I'm picking Uran Satybaldiev. It's one loss. May look bad on paper, but I actually think Maheshate, he looks horrible. He's pretty horrible, but like he gets the job done at the end of the day. He's 7-1 in the UFC Maheshate, so not the worst loss to have. And it was obviously his debut. And I know Diyar Nurgozhay can't help this, but I don't like Diyar's the tick of rubbing his eye every 2 seconds. So, and he looked awful against Ribeiro. Ribeiro isn't the best. He's especially getting subbed by Ribeiro is an awful look. So yeah, I mean, give me Uran Satybaldiev probably by sub to get this one done.
Yeah, no, I agree. At the end of the day, I'm not picking someone with a disability to win an MMA fight when it consists of him constantly touching his eye. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy that he's came this far. He's 10-1 with this disability. So, I am going to go with Uran Satybaldiev to win this one by finish of some sort. And yeah, we'll go on to the next fight. Rongzhu versus Su Yong-yu. Now, it's a bit of a tricky one, this. But I am off with the Chinese man, Rongzhu, because he is a lot more experienced. He's younger, and I think he's a better fighter overall. I think he has more tools to use. And I'm surprised he's an underdog in this fight, to be honest. What about you?
I'm actually gone for the favourite. I've gone against you. I think Su Yong-yu, it is a close fight. I'm not against your pick, but I just think Su Yong-yu is a bit more consistent. I mean, we know how many split decisions Xiao Long has, or Long Xiao, should I say. But I prefer Su Yong's resume. I prefer his career compared to Xiao Long's career. I think Su Yong has more tools, and I just think he's a slicker fighter, to be honest. I think he's a bit more slick, a bit more technical than someone like Long. But I expect this fight to be a close decision. That can go either way, but I'm going to go Su Yong-yu.
It's kind of crazy that Long Xiao has double the fights of someone his elder, so I just don't like that he's from a jiu-jitsu gym, to be honest. Yong-yu. I never liked that.
Yeah, I hear it.
It means he'll probably do quite well on the ground, but I just think MMA gyms are clear jiu-jitsu gyms to train at, and yeah. We're against each other on that one, though. We're on to the next one. Yizha versus Westin LeBones Wilson. I'll let you start with this one.
Right, well, I've gone for the big favourite in Yizha here, but I really don't believe he should be that big of a favourite. I think maybe minus 200, somewhere around that region. But I think Yizha's, I know he's a grappler, I know he has many submissions, Yizha, but I think it'd be quite dumb for him to go to the ground against Westin Wilson, because that is Westin Wilson's only path to victory here, in my opinion. So I think Yizha's just got to keep it on the feet, got to trust himself. I just trust him not to be smart enough not to grapple with Westin Wilson, because obviously Westin Wilson can be tricky. Basically, I'm pretty sure all of his wins basically come by sub. He's a very tricky grappler. But yeah, I mean, I even think Yizha can sub Westin Wilson. That is a possibility. Obviously, Yizha is a good grappler, has many subs himself. But I'm going to say Yizha by finish, because I think he's going to be smart enough to keep it on the feet and not risk getting subbed. But yeah, I'm going to say Yizha finish.
Yeah, no, Yizha's gonna win this fight. I do think Westin Wilson has a chance if Yizha decides to go to the ground, but he would be dumb to do that. So yeah, but I won't put it past him because I've seen it time and time again. So yeah. Both going with Yizha in that one. We'll go on to the next one. Michel Pereira versus the Dark Knight Kyle Daukaus. So I will be going with Michel Pereira to win this fight, even though he is pretty shit and he has one round of cardio, but I don't see Kyle Daukaus being the man to take advantage of this flaw in his game. And apart from his cardio, Michel Pereira is actually pretty decent and explosive, and I think he will finish this fight within the first round. So yeah, I'll be going with Michel Pereira here.
Yeah, exactly the same. I mean, I just think it's an easy Michel Pereira round one knockout. I don't think, or also, I know Michel Pereira subs as well, so either one, I just think he finishes it in round one. Should be dominant. Pereira's, maybe not the best of fighters, but he's still beat much better guys than Kyle Daukaus at the end of the day. So should be smashing through as someone at Kyle Daukaus' level. I would expect in the first round, in probably the first half of the round, by sub or knockout. I don't know. He can do either, but whatever he wants, really.
Yeah, no, it's Kyle Daukaus at the end of the day. I don't expect this to be much of a fight, but if it does somehow win this, then fair play. On to the next fight, Rongzhu versus Austin Hubbard. I'll let you start with this one.
It's a fight where I don't particularly rate either fighter. I've watched Hubbard multiple times, and he's just not good enough for the UFC, in my opinion. I just don't think Austin Hubbard's good at all. I don't look at Hubbard and think he's good at anything. I'm gonna pick Rongzhu first round knockout. Rongzhu, he has a lot of first round knockouts in his career, and I just think Hubbard is a fight that is just, it's so plausible for him to get a first round knockout again here. I think Rongzhu will get a knockout. My prediction is round 1. I just think he's better at literally everything. I don't think Austin Hubbard is going to have anything for Rongzhu in this fight. But again, I don't particularly rate either of them. So God knows what happens here. But I'm going to say Rongzhu knockout in the first.
Yeah, Rongzhu will win this fight as well, I think. I don't know if it'll be bad. It'll probably will be better knockout, to be fair. Austin Hubbard is just bottom of the barrel in the UFC, so I'll be very surprised if Rongzhu can't beat him. He's in his home country as well, so he'll have a lot of crowd behind him. Judges might be on his side as well, so yeah, Rongzhu should probably win this fight 9 times out of 10. Going to the first good fight of the card. Kavanagh versus Charles Energy Johnson. Now, Charles Johnson is known for beating prospects and being a tough gatekeeper of this division, but yeah, I mean, he should be on like a 5-fight win streak right now, because the last fight, the guy popped for roids recently, so that's something. Kavanagh, he is pretty good. He's young. He will have he's 5 inches smaller than Charles Johnson in this fight, which could be a problem for him. But I will be going with Kavanagh to win this. He does claim Chinese as well, so that's one thing. And I think a 3-round fight, I just think he can do enough before he starts getting tired, because I know Charles Johnson has a good gas tank, so yeah, I think he'll win the first 2 rounds, maybe give up the third and win a decision. That's how I see this.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think Kavanagh he's a close fight, and I do think I won't be shocked if Johnson does get a win, but I'm picking Kavanagh just because he's younger, much higher ceiling, than Charles Johnson. And, Kavanagh, he hasn't looked brilliant, but, he still gets the win at the end of the day. He's up there for giving up a round and things, but at the end of the day, he's shown that when he gets tough in fights, he can still hang in there and win the rounds. So, I like the performance for him against Ochoa, because I don't think Ochoa is bad. I know Ochoa was on short notice in that fight, but he still won the fight 2-1. And obviously he's always improving because he's so young. Like you said, he's changed his nationality. So, not to copy you here, but I am going to pick a 2-1 Kavanagh decision, most likely. Just a decision win.
Yeah, no, I agree. Going to the next fight. Maheshate versus Gorge Young. And personally, I am on the Gorge Young side of this, because I have watched Gorge Young before, I believe against maybe Eric Anders. I'm going to double check that. I don't know if it was Eric Anders. I hope it wasn't, to be honest. I know it was Evan Elder.
No,
that's what I'm thinking
Evan
of.
Elder, yeah.
Yeah. Evan Elder did beat him, but Gorge Young, he looks okay. He is shit, but I'd say he's a level above, the Cody Gibsons and, the Cody Brundages of the world. I believe he can win a UFC fight, and I do believe he will beat Maheshate. He's just a can. He's just some random can they found, because he's Chinese, so yeah. Gorge Young will win this fight by TKO, in my opinion, and it will even be close. What about you?
I'm against you.
Interesting.
Give me Maheshate by knockout or decision. At the end of the day, Gorge Young, I've done my research. I've watched his fight as well against Evan Elder, and the truth is, Gao Zhang has a crazy stat-padded career. And, I just don't think there's that much to go off in this fight, but I think Maheshate is a bit more dangerous than Gao Zhang. Maheshate obviously does have a very good win in the UFC as well over Steve Garcia, who knocked him out cold in that one. But yeah, I just think if he has the power to knock out someone like Steve Garcia cold, and he hasn't looked great since then, but I really don't rate Gao Zhang too highly, so I'm going to go Maheshate by KO decision here to get it done.
That's fair enough. On to the next fight. Taiyilake Nueraji versus Kiefer Crosbie. Now, I'm off with the 5-1 favourite here because Kiefer Crosbie is just ass. He is can level, and I don't know why he's still here. So there's no explanation needed in this one. Just Nueraji will finish this fight. How about you?
Yeah. Exact same. I think he knocks him out in one. Crosby's lost both of his fights in the UFC in the first round. I think it happens again here. Nueraji is actually a pretty dangerous fighter, maybe one of the most dangerous fighters Crosby's faced. So I think there's no reason for him not to find a KO in the first here. I think there's just going to be a massive skill gap, and Nueraji's going to easily get the KO in the first, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll go on to the next one. Sumudaerji versus Kevin Borjas. I'll let you start with this one.
I put here, for me, this is an easy pick. And normally dogs aren't easy picks, but Borjas is the dog here, and I think he is an easy pick. He looked pretty, amazing in his last performance against Ronaldo Rodriguez. Absolutely dominated that fight. I think it was a 30-27 or a 30-26 or something on the scorecards there. I just believe... I believe Ronaldo Rodriguez, I know it's MMA math, but he's better than Sumudaerji, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm not impressed with Sumudaerji's last performance. It was a split decision against Mitch Raposo. I watched that fight as well. And honestly, you can even give the fight to Mitch Raposo. I wouldn't, but it's still a horrible look, even having a close fight with him. I just think Borjas, when you compare them two results, Borjas coming off a 30-27 against Ronaldo Rodriguez, Sumudaerji coming off a Mitch Raposo split decision win. I think it's a no-brainer for me. I think Borjas definitely gets this one done.
Yeah. I'm the exact same. Sumudaerji is a can. I know he's in his home country, but Borjas is also a kind of a can, but he's had tricky fights in the UFC compared. I just don't think Sumudaerji is all that. I don't know why he's a favourite in this fight. Maybe I'll be wrong, but yeah, no, I think Borjas is just the better fighter overall, and I think he'll win this one by decision most likely. But yeah, we'll move on to the feature fight. Sergei Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Now, I was edging towards Acosta at one point, and I do think he's got a decent value on the underdog. But if I have to be honest with myself, I think Pavlovich does just win this fight, whether it's in the first round or a decision. I think first round knockout's quite a likely outcome for him here, but he took Rosenstrike 3 rounds and out-wrestled him, so I don't see him doing that to Acosta, because Acosta defended all of Spivak's takedowns, or pretty much all of them. But I do just think he can win a decision, to be honest. Maybe we're seeing Pavlovich and he obviously strike numbers, but I do worry for Pavlovich, though, if it does go the distance, because Cortes-Acosta's quite a good point fighter, so there's a world where Cortes-Acosta wins this, but I'm going to go Pavlovich, because I just think there's more chance of it, basically. What about you?
I'm picking DaCosta by decision. I think there's a chance of knockout from DaCosta even, but I'm going to pick him by decision. The main reasoning is, I think Pavlovich's only way to victory is knocking him out in one, and DaCosta has a pretty good chin. So I just don't see it happening. Obviously anyone can get knocked out by Pavlovich, I'm not saying he can't, but I just don't think he's the same guy. Since he lost to Aspinall and things, he lost to Volkov as well, right? I just don't think he's been the same guy. I know he beat Rosenstrike, but I'm talking about a guy that's just been cut and has zero grappling. DaCosta has, as you just said, very good grappling defense, and in my opinion, some really good underrated boxing DaCosta has. So I think DaCosta's quite an underrated fighter. Some people even scored the fight to Spivak. I didn't personally, but I think he clearly won, to be honest, on damage. So yeah, I think DaCosta's just... I think that Pavlovich can only win by first round knockout. I think DaCosta's just a better point fighter. Pavlovich only won the Rosenstrike fight because Rosenstrike has zero grappling. He's not going to be able to do that to Costa. So give me DaCosta by decision. I think he can just weather the storm of the first round and win the points and win the fight.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I'll say I'm like 60-40 towards Pavlovich, so yeah. I'm going to say Pavlovich though. Move on to the co-main event. Brian Ortega versus Aljamain Sterling. Now, I'll let you start with this one, actually.
This is an interesting fight, but I'm picking Sterling by decision. I think. He can get a finish, especially in a 5-round fight. But I'm just going to say Sterling by decision. I trust that Ortega... I think Ortega won't get subbed, because obviously that's his whole plan, really. It's just like, do subs and not get subbed and all that. So I'm picking Sterling decision. I think the fight, he definitely can end by finish, but I just think Sterling's, to put it on paper, I think Sterling's a better fighter than Ortega. He's just a better version of Ortega. I think he's just better everywhere. And obviously, I do think Ortega's tough and can be skilled, but I just think Sterling will be patient, wait for his moments, win the fight, just be a better fighter than Ortega is. I don't see a world where Ortega wins in this fight, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I do just think Aljamain Sterling's better everywhere. There's a slight chance that maybe Brian Ortega just somehow gets a submission. I don't know how, though, so I can't even say that. I think Aljamain Sterling is gonna... I think he's actually... I think a hot take. I'm going to say he finishes Brian Ortega in this fight.
No, it's possible. It's possible.
I just think he's washed. I think Brian Ortega's washed. I know he got a win against Gio Rodriguez, but he got beat the fuck up and then, just couldn't find a finish, so he gassed. But, no, he is just... He's got horrible striking. He's not got good offensive wrestling, and he's just got some good jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I just don't think Ortega's going to have a chance in this fight. I think Aljamain Sterling wins 98% of the time. So, I do agree with you on that. Going to the main event. Johnny Walker versus Mingyang Zhang. Now, there's multiple reasons why I'm picking Zhang to knock out Johnny Walker in the first round. And one of them reasons is Zhang basically does that to most people he fights. I think generally pretty much every single person he's fought has been out in the first. And Johnny Walker has one of the worst shins in UFC history, and this does just scream of him getting put flatlined on the canvas. And there's another stat: Brazilians this year just don't win main events, so I'm not gonna put Johnny Walker as the man to stop that. Yeah. And Johnny Walker was just kind of shit. He's athletic, but he's just a bit shit. So that's how I see this. What about you?
I think it's probably the luck of the card, really. I know it's obvious, but I know the sport sometimes cannot be obvious, even when it seems that way. But Zhang first round knockout, I believe it's at like a -140 right now on odds. But it's literally minus money for good reason. Yeah, I do think it's good value because I think it's obvious. I think Walker's obviously chinny, and he's against probably the most dangerous striker he's ever faced, or up there, to be honest. So, honestly, give me the easiest pick of the night. Zhang, I know he's a heavy favourite, but give me the KO in round 1 at -140 every day of the week. I know it's minus money for a first round knockout, but it's fair. I think there's still value there. So, I think Zhang's just dangerous.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, I guess. That's about it.